We visited the Norwegian Techniske Museum and Nobel Peace Center in Norway to learn about what is being done about the environment, global warming, and alternative energy solutions in other parts of the world. We're here in front of the Norwegian Techniske Museum, Oslo, Norway.
Inside we will see their climate change exhibit.
This is a climate crisis exhibit called Klima X. Everyone must put on rubber boots because the exhibit is underwater, representing rising sea levels. This ice block represents the Arctic, and this one over here represents what's happening to it.
Throughout the exhibit, there are several columns such as this one. They tell about different places in the world that are being affected by global warming. This one, for example, is in Australia, and CO2 in the atmosphere is being absorbed by the oceans, making the water more acidic. Increasing temperatures and acidic oceans might kill the world's largest coral reef, the Great Barrier Reef. Here at the other end of the exhibit, we can learn a little bit about Masai Mara, Kenya, Africa. Global warming here is affecting their food supply. Less rain, more drought, and erosion can affect their agriculture. Food production in African countries can be cut in half by 2020. The river is drying up, crops are withering, and the unique plant and animal vegetation is threatened. Here in Kumbh, Nepal, melting of the glaciers in the Himalayas, such as Kumbh, Nepal, affect the water supply of over 1 billion people. 40 to 80% of the glaciers in the Himalayas could have disappeared by year 2100. How do you think kids have reacted to this exhibit?
Hopefully positive. It's a lot of writing here in the exhibit, but for kids we have lots of school classes that come here, and then they get an idea of how the climate changes can be if in the worst scenario.
What is the purpose of this exhibit?
Working on the problem with the climate. Everybody who's visiting this exhibit, they know about the climate changes, and so we give them a little more, show them the way, the science working on the subject. Yeah.
Thank you. Tusen takk.
In the climate change exhibit, we learn about global warming and the effect it is having on different places in the world. Now we will see a few exhibits on alternative energy, ways to make power that does not release as much carbon dioxide and pollution, and so it is better for the environment.
This is an osmotic power plant. The fresh water goes through a membrane to the salt water, which releases energy and turns a turbine, which is turned into electricity.
This is the first tidal power plant in Norway, and the way it works is there are turbines underwater and the ocean tides spin them, which generates electricity. The wind turns the windmill, which rotates the generator, and that turns the wind energy into electrical energy.
There are 150 windmills in Norway and over 5,000 in Denmark. Food for thought. The first step is education.
This is a hybrid electric car charging.
This is an example of a car with few emissions, having a very small effect on global warming.
While in Oslo, Norway, we also visited the Nobel Peace Center. In a special photography exhibit, we learned the environmental issues of today are also social issues. In 2008, for the first time in history, more people will live in cities than rural areas, and 1/3 of those people, over 1 billion, live in slums. The United Nations predicts that the population of slums will increase to 2 billion in the next 25 years unless we address the environmental and social issues involved. In the exhibit were videos and photos from slums in Nairobi, Kenya, Mumbai, India, Caracas, Venezuela, and Jakarta, Indonesia. Population in the slums increases both by births and by families moving in after being displaced by droughts, wars, and other rural issues of the day.